love it with some passion. Rubber band and the money that keeps stacking. Got a honey who come with elite fashion. She too fine, I tell her that thing magic. You ain't a hustle, you broke, well that seems tragic. Gotta catch in the fields like deep passes. I tell her plug if it's sticky, then please bag it. I need the best cause I grew up beneath madness. Need a Matt Burgundy Mercy. Jewelry so heavy it might hurt me. Smoking extra kill, that extra seal. Whoa, Buffalo money need extra bills. Till I'm eating so much I got a breakfast deal. I put mom's on vacation.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Jay Spence the King. We are back for the chop up. It is Wednesday, and I'm excited to be here. My man Steros for the Girls is going to be just a tad bit late, so he'll be popping in here any moment. Antoine is on vacation. Last week I was on vacation, so I'm gonna hold it down until I get Steros in here. We're gonna I'm gonna kick it with y'all in the comments. I see my man Papa Ron is in the building. I see Chris, Richard Rush is in here like always. I appreciate y'all so much. It's been a real good. Oh, my man Daryl Domes is in the building. But look, it's been a busy off season. I took a week off, so I finally was able to catch up on some stuff. So I just wanted to get y'all opinion on some things, and I wanted to talk about a couple things. So rock with me in the comments here. But one of the first things that I wanted to kind of talk about, y'all know my love for Cam Newton, and y'all know that obviously I'm at the point now where I feel like Cam is done. However, a couple weeks ago, Cam had his own like little private. He had a private workout for NFL teams. Really, it was more so for, it was a college, it was a pro day for one of the college programs, I believe Auburn. I can't remember, but he put on this pro day. He comes up now, he's talking about on his show. Well, first at the pro day, he's like, look, ain't 32 people better than me. There ain't 32 people better than me. I call cap. I feel like at this point, and y'all know how much I love Cam. I love Cam so much I wore a Patriots jersey. But at this point, I feel like Cam is done, right? Now, today, he releases his podcast where he says that, he's even willing to be backup. Josh Allen was on that list. Hold on, let me pull it up because I was looking at it prior to, and I'm just like, this is pretty wild to me. He said he's willing to back up Deshaun Watson, Sam Howell, Malik Willis, Justin Fields, Tua Tagovailoa, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, and then he mentioned some rookies. Look, I'm gonna tell you what. I've been a Cam supporter this entire time. When they lost the Super Bowl, I was one of the guys pounding on the table saying, who gracefully loses a Super Bowl while you're listening to the celebration? Like, don't nobody want to sit there and take dumb questions. Now I get it. You have to, it's part of the game. Your media, you have to have the media availability. You talk after the game. I get it. I get all these other things that he's kind of, I guess, had issues with. People think that he was selfish. People called him different things. All of that being said, there comes a point when you just have to be honest. You have to be honest. So where I'm at when I'm coming about this situation, I figure if Cam Newton is willing to be a backup, fine. Do I want him as a backup on the Buffalo Bills roster? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's nothing about Cam Newton that to me spells that he's even a decent quarterback at this point. The last time we saw Cam Newton in a football jersey, he did nothing for the Carolina Panthers. The time prior to that, when we saw him in New England, he was not, it was not impressive. It was not impressive. And I'll be honest with you, if there was any other quarterback in the one game against Buffalo when they were in Buffalo, we won that game last minute. We got a fumble. Cam Newton, if they would have had Mac Jones in that game, they would have won the game. And that's saying a lot because y'all know how I feel about Mac Jones. Y'all know how I feel about Mac Jones. It's time for Cam to sit down. It's time for Cam to sit down. My man Richard Rush says he'll pass on the Cam Newton talk. And I'm with you. My man Ralph says, you know what? Cam is right. There aren't 32 better. There's 64 better. Sarah says the goal of a backup is to never have them see the field. And that's where I'm at. But at the same time, if the backup has to see the field, I don't want it to be somebody who can no longer throw the ball past 10 yards. And that's not a knock on Cam. It's the truth about Cam. I love Cam Newton. I guarantee you I'm one of the biggest Cam Newton fans you'll see. But like I said, there comes a time when you have to be honest about where you are as a player, where you are as a person. My man Daryl says Josh ain't letting go of Kyle Allen. That's his homie. No matter who the backup is, though, Kyle, Cam, whoever, I hope he never plays. And I agree. I hope that we never see Kyle Allen. I was hoping that last season we didn't see. Like, I don't want to see any backup when you have Josh Allen as your quarterback. So this is why it's imperative. Like, this is so important for Brandon Beane this year to actually focus on the offensive line in the draft. Focus on wide receivers. You say wide receivers, that's not protecting Josh. Well, it is. I posted a clip today on Twitter where the Bills played against Washington, and if you go back and you look at all of the offensive plays that Josh Allen had out there, the ball came out quick. He was precise. Even if the offensive line was trash, I'm not saying they were trash, but even if the offensive line was trash, it didn't matter because he got the ball out so quickly. You're not going to get to Josh Allen in 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds. So if that's the case, get me some better receivers that can run some routes, that can get open, that can create separation to where Josh can be precise and he doesn't have to be super Josh every time. And then when those moments happen, when you need Josh to scramble and you need Josh to do some things, then we can worry about that. But as of right now, I'm focused on, I'm hoping that Brandon Beane will spend some of that draft capital, or if he's going to trade or whatever he's going to do, because it's still the offseason. I want to see him do some things that will help Josh Allen take another step forward. He's a great quarterback. I don't need him to take a step forward as far as his ability. I need him to take a step forward. The clip that I posted today is one of my favorite games. Obviously, we blew Washington out, right? But that's not the reason why. If you go back and look at the video I posted, I'm telling you, the whole offense seemed to flow in a way that you're just not used to. This past season, we didn't see the team flow like that in any game. I would say maybe with the exception of the game against Tennessee. Week 2 against Tennessee, the Bills looked just unbeatable. They looked dominant. That's what I'm used to seeing prior. That's what I want to see. But after that Titans game, it seemed like there was a lot of confusion on offense. It seems like, I know Daryl mentioned to me earlier that the UCL injury that Josh suffered, typically it causes people to have issues throwing the ball short and precise, strong, quick passes. So we saw Josh kind of, I guess, throw it a little bit deeper. I don't know. I didn't research the injury. This was some, D, if you can put that in the comments, I'll kind of read what your research was on it. But for me, I feel like regardless of what it was, the receiving core. I know Stefon Diggs came out today and he said that Gabriel Davis in his head, his ceiling for Gabriel Davis is wide receiver 1. I feel like Isaiah McKenzie, Gabriel Davis, we didn't get to see enough of Khalil Shakir for us to have this real conversation about it, but Isaiah Hodgins early on before he was cut and let go. You look at the receiving core that we had after Stefon Diggs, and it just wasn't comparable to the season before. Emmanuel Sanders, granted, he got older and he got injured quick. Fine. But when he was in there healthy for the beginning part of the season, you saw that offense roll in a way that we didn't see at all last season. You saw Josh Allen spreading the ball out to Diggs, to Sanders, to Beasley. You saw everybody getting the ball. Hell, you saw Zach Moss making some plays. And if you see Zach Moss making some plays, then you know something's happening. Something is happening. Jimmy says, please get Josh some protection and a great running back. I can't tell you how much I would hope and pray that Brandon Beane makes that a priority. I can't tell you how much I hope he makes that a priority. Ralph says, if the Rodgers deal falls through, the Jets could sign Cam. I tell you what, I stick with what I got if I'm out there in New York if I don't get Aaron Rodgers. Instead of getting Cam, I would stick with what I got. I would keep Zach Wilson. Or, why not take a shot at Lamar Jackson? Why not call up the Ravens? And really, I would call the Ravens before I would sign Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history. He's probably, if I'm gonna rank all-time quarterbacks, to me, he probably falls around 4. all time, probably falls around 4 or 5. And I get that. But at this stage of his career, how many years do you think you're going to get out of, how many years do you really think that you're going to get out of Aaron Rodgers at this point? And granted, last year he wasn't the greatest. My man Jesse would tell you that he probably had that thumb injury that kind of caused some issues with the way he performed. But all I see is tape. Josh Allen had a UCL injury, and we still had the second best offense in the league. So for me, if you're playing, I get it. You have the fan bases can come up and say, hey, we can use this as an excuse. I don't want to use it as an excuse. If you're healthy enough to play, then I need you to perform. Victor says, don't jinx Lamar on the Jets. Oh, hell no. Listen, I'm not trying to jinx us. What I'm saying is, if I'm the New York Jets, I'm not willing to give up draft capital. I'm not willing to give up draft capital on a guy that I probably will have, like my man Richard Rush says, for 2 years max. You're going to have Aaron, and who's to say that he won't come over there now and then retire after this year? He's been flirting with retirement for the last 3 years, flirting with going to different teams for the last 6 years. He's not happy. He doesn't like the receiving core. Okay, so you complain about the team. You complain about the way they don't draft players and they don't get good wide receivers. You complain about all of that. Then now you give the Jets this list, and you have the Jets basically bringing over every single receiver from the Green Bay Packers. And by the way, I personally think the team that the New York Jets have truly is a quarterback away. They have very good receivers. Last year, they had the AFC Rookie of the Year on offense. They have a phenomenal running back who would have been the Rookie of the Year had he not torn his ACL. They have a very good team over there. Am I going to put all that trust into Aaron Rodgers, or am I going to say, let me trade 2 first-round draft picks and go get Lamar Jackson? I know if I'm a GM, I'm going to go for the guy that's younger, who also is an MVP, who can throw the football but didn't really get the opportunity to show that as much in the NFL because of his offensive coordinator. And for Bills fans who want to say, no, we can't go on that. We can't. Lamar Jackson can't throw. I know. I see all the comments. Some people just hate on Lamar for what it is. Do y'all not remember what it was like when we had the same offensive coordinator in Buffalo? I'm gonna bring my man Sterles in to get his thoughts on all of this. Sterles, I'm talking about the Jets right now. I started off talking about Cam.
Okay.
And so Cam came out today and said that, you know what, I am willing to be a backup quarterback. I'm willing to back up. And he had a list of quarterbacks: Deshaun Watson, Josh Allen, Tua, Lamar. So he listed a ton of places. Then somebody in the comments said, well, if the Jets don't get your boy Aaron Rodgers, they should probably sign Cam. I'm sure they were being sarcastic and funny. But then I said, look, if I'm the Jets, I don't want Cam Newton. The Cam hasn't looked good in the uniform. He's looked good. Like the dude, he looks good, but he hasn't played well in the uniform since when? We haven't seen him play well since his first stunt in Carolina, because he didn't look good as a Patriot. He didn't look good this last time as a Carolina Panther. So now you're talking about the New York Jets. If I'm the Jets, why am I going to spend draft capital on Aaron Rodgers when he's maybe going to give me 2 years? Maybe going to give me 2 years. When I can go and get an MVP,
right,
who's young, who can, whatever offense you put him in, he's going to thrive. And then you came in now where I'm talking about how, you get the hate where people saying, oh, he can't throw the ball. Lamar can't throw the ball outside the number. He's not the. Okay, we all remember Greg Roman as an offensive coordinator. But what are your thoughts as far as what you think as far as with the Jets? Would you go with Aaron Rodgers still at this point? Because I feel like they're playing chess out here when everybody thought this thing should have been done weeks ago. Still not done. Probably waiting until the draft. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about this on the Chop Up for the past few months, even with Antoine. In my opinion, the Jets, it seems almost asinine for the Jets to be even interested in Aaron Rodgers. Knowing where your young franchise is, you got a lot of good young pieces, so you're going to have to either part with some of that and then still give up draft picks to draft Aaron Rodgers, who we don't know if he's like going to play a year or two, right? And then, you've already dealt with kind of an unfortunate situation with Zach Wilson and his lack of leadership, him being so young, etc., saying things in the media to the team that he probably shouldn't. Now you're going to bring in the king of, dysfunction in a sense, like toxicity. I mean, why would you sign up for that? So I think people get so being caught up in the moment with Lamar Jackson. They try to put, it's like he's super incredibly good. And I don't understand why we even have to defend him. We shouldn't have to defend Lamar Jackson. I know, like in Buffalo, the Bills seem to have their number, but Lamar Jackson is still a top 10 quarterback. And it's not even close. Like, he could do things that he is a numbers changer. He could do things that not many quarterbacks in this league can do. He's probably one of one in his running ability. Let's be honest, like the way he does it, right? I mean, he's taking 10 to 11 design runs a game. Now it's catching up to him, but that's because of, the system that he's in and how they deploy him, right? But in terms of throwing the football, you don't get him a number one wide receiver. So his number one wide receiver is Mark Andrews, who is a tight end, by the way. Well, we could say, well, Patrick Mahomes has Travis Kelce, but he also had Tyreek Hill for a long time, right? So Mark Andrews, and what else? Like, it's bad. So if you take Mark Andrews out, if you just put their wide receiver group, just rank them, they're in the bottom tier of the league. They're not even sniffing the 20s. They're at 30, 31, 32. They're probably the worst receiving core in the league. And then he has a running back that's good, but he's hurt all the time. And J.K. Dobbins, what is the man supposed to do?
And then, you know what? You mentioned that wide receiver room. They're probably just as bad as the Bills were Josh's rookie year as far as receivers.
Facts.
And that's so Bills fans, if you remember Josh's rookie year, our number one wide receiver was Kelvin Benjamin. That's the type of receiving core. Remember when everybody thought Robert Foster was about to be the next wide receiver one?
Oh, man.
Like this is the type of roster, and I mean no disrespect to the Ravens. They have some guys who could probably be key pieces on a good team.
Right.
But the way they're built, none of those guys are wide receiver ones. None of them.
And we also have to keep in mind that they traded their best offensive lineman in Orlando Brown during the Lamar Jackson era. And then Ronnie Stanley got hurt, right? And then they had other injuries on the offensive line. And then by the way, Ben Powers, they let him go as a free agent. And I mean, it's like, and then what's so frustrating to me is the Ravens are talking about, we're looking at Odell Beckham. What is he gonna do? What is Odell Beckham gonna like Lamar's gonna, oh yeah, that's my dog. Like, yeah, this is Odell Beckham. The Giants drafted, great. But Odell Beckham now, are you kidding me? Like,
man,
it sounds like LeBron and the Lakers trying to get all these has-beens to come hoop. LeBron looking at them like, what is this?
It's just it's laughable, man. Because like you said, so if you would have kept Hollywood Brown, and then you add an Odell Beckham Jr. to go along with your All-Pro tight end and Mark Andrews. Okay, now you're starting to be on to something.
Right.
Like you don't have something yet, but you're starting to get on to something. So right now at this point, it's just like, man, y'all got to draft somebody. Y'all got to draft somebody good. If you're going to bring in a Lamar, if you're going to get Lamar Jackson back and then bring in an Odell Beckham Jr., you also need to draft a stud. Like, it just is what it is. And at this point, I even see the negative reports about Lamar as far as like, now it's like, oh, well, he being selfish. He this, he that. No, listen, if anybody is selfish, to me, it's the organization. You expect this guy to run his body into the ground. You're calling these design quarterback run plays for him, getting him popped game after game, game after game, and then now he didn't want to come back from injury too early. Oh, he's soft. He didn't really want to. Or how about, no, y'all give me my bread. If I'm gonna keep putting my body on the line, y'all need to pay me.
Hey, don't this remind you of a great philosopher has a song called "We Off That," named Jay-Z. Anything to help Lamar Jackson, we off that. Like,
we off that.
We off that.
Because I mean, but it's true. It's so true. It's like, look, no, y'all keep talking that I'm supposed to be loyal to an organization that ain't loyal to me. Y'all keep talking like I'm supposed to put my body on the line when they not even putting money on the line for me. Y'all keep talking like I'm supposed to do this when they can't even get me a wide receiver that can catch the ball right. Matter of fact, before we get to the receiver, y'all keep talking like this while they give me an offensive coordinator that don't know how to really make me look like the quarterback that I am. Did we all forget that Lamar Jackson won the Heisman Trophy and he won it convincingly? Like, the dude was a beast. And it wasn't just run. Yeah, he broke everybody's knees and ankles. He snatched ACLs across the league.
Yeah.
But the dude put the ball where it needed to be when he threw it. I don't know. Like you said, I don't even know why we have to defend him at this point.
Yeah, it's Lamar Jackson in terms of tight window throws. He's top 5 in the league. Let that sink in for you. So for people out there saying Lamar Jackson can't throw, you might want to go reevaluate that. He can do it. He can do it, and he does it well.
Well, moving on. What's up, dog? It's been a minute. Been a couple weeks since I've seen you. Last week was vacation. I didn't get to start the show off like this with you because life. But what's up with you?
Oh man, hey, as you know, I'm 40. I don't even feel 40. I just feel older, dog.
Yo, bro.
I know, right? And the grays keep coming in, man. It's just, I'm just embracing it, man.
Yo, I was just saying. So I was looking through my hair. The salt and pepper is really coming through. Now, the top, like I dyed, like it'd be red and it's blue and I'm like, yo, I think I might cut my hair and let this salt and pepper thing actually come through. I've been thinking about it a lot.
Oh, you gonna go with it, huh?
I think I'm gonna just go ahead and cut that thing off and let the wisdom come through. You dig? Like,
yeah, and see, that makes it sound way better. That's what they tell you, man. They be like, 40 is the new 30. I'm like, the hell it ain't. It ain't even close, dog. It's 40. It's 40. It's 40. It is, man.
It's 40. I don't want to be 30. I ain't trying to act like I'm 30 no more. No. I'm the age that I am. That's fact.
Man. Yeah.
My man Roy said I can't remember what it feels like to be 40.
God dang, boy. But turning 40 was better than turning 30. I was depressed when I turned 30. But 40 is good, man. It's good to be here. It's good to be back. I feel rejuvenated. I got a little piece I'm working on for BuffaloRumblers.com about a tale of different draft teams from the 2018 draft and how, those 5 teams that took a quarterback, where they are today. So that's going to drop this week. So that'll be dope.
Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I got some stuff that I'm actually working on too, as far as before the draft. I know most people who do draft work, so like you, Sarah, Antoine, y'all write a lot about prospects and y'all write a lot about certain things. I'm gonna write it. I've been working on this article that has been taking me some time because I'm actually putting a whole lot of effort into it. But I want to talk about what the Bills need from, not even from a position of like holes, like Tremaine left. So yeah, we need a middle linebacker. But I'm talking about even people that we retained from last year, areas that were not as good as other teams in the league. How can we get better this upcoming season, whether we retain the same players or how do we improve in the draft or with what's left in free agency? I just think that there's certain aspects of the Bills, especially on offense, that I think that because defensively, I'm gonna be honest, I think that the Bills are going to take another step forward. We were a good defense last year, but I think when you get Micah Hyde back, I think that's going to, part of the issue that we have, for instance, that game against the Vikings, we don't lose that game if Micah Hyde is there. And that, to me, like, I know it's a lot of hypotheticals. It's like, well, but I'm just telling you, if Micah Hyde is back there, Cam Lewis doesn't try to intercept that ball.
I was just about to say that.
And you know what I mean? Like, so we don't lose that game if we have Micah Hyde. I think Trey White is going to be a lot better this season. I think Trey White is going to be, I don't know. I just think the defense isn't going to be my biggest concern. Although we don't have Tremaine. You know how I am. You know how I feel about Tremaine. I miss him already. Right. I miss him. I miss you, Tremaine. If you hear this, I miss you, dog. Come back, man. Just renege on the contract. Just be like, nah, I don't want it. I want to go back to Buffalo. Just do it. He probably won't. But but the defense isn't my concern. I really think that the offense has to, if Super Bowl conversations or not, I think division wise, we're still, obviously we've won a division now a few years in a row, so we're the top dog in the division. But I'm gonna tell you what, the gap is closed. Not the way you and Antoine were talking, but the gap has closed a bit when you're talking about the talent that the Miami Dolphins has brought in. If Aaron Rodgers goes to the Jets had the defense that the Jets had. The defense caused the Buffalo Bills a lot of issues, a lot of issues. And if they really had a quarterback over there, listen, we could have lost both games to the Jets.
Right.
So I think the gap has closed a bit to where, look, we have to do something to continue to push this forward. So yeah, I'm working on some stuff too, man. It's gonna be a good month for some content. You going to the draft?
Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready. Hey,
All
but
right.
back to your point though, doesn't it feel like, you say the Bills you think the Bills are gonna be better defensively, which, I mean, middle linebacker is a big hole, and I don't know how they're gonna figure that out. But let's not be mistaken here. Like, I understand what Tremaine Edmonds, his effect on the field is, but teams lose players all the time and figure it out. You scheme it. You try to fill it with a player. And as we get into this draft season, we're dead into it. We're close to the end. And we talk about Jack Campbell. We talk about Drew Sanders and Henry To'oTo'o and stuff like that. But I still feel like if the Bills are really serious about being a contender for the Super Bowl, I think you probably should stock up on the offensive side of the ball, whether that's O-line and receiver. Those are the two biggest needs that I see the Bills have on the offensive side of the ball. And if they don't do that, I don't know. I feel like the defense will be better just because Sean McDermott, as a play caller, he's going to be a little bit more aggressive, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to – and I think the addition with Kyrie Elam being a little bit better in zone coverage, we know he could play man. Trey White toward the end of the season was a dog. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, playoff game, he was really good. Kyrie Elam was the best player on the field, though, and that's impressive. So I think the defense is going to be good. And if they don't fill that linebacker hole, I'll be irritated. But I think you can go get a Zach Cunningham, or you can go get another linebacker free agent as a stopgap for a year. Hell, even after the draft, you could probably trade for somebody. I mean, we act like it's not possible, but it's possible, right?
No, it's possible.
But they need help on the offensive side of the ball, man. And it just feels like, when you were gone last week, we did a mock draft about, I handicapped the guys that you couldn't draft, defense with 27th overall pick, and the results were interesting. So I think they need to go offense. I feel like the Bills are probably going to stock up on the defense. That's just what I feel. I hope I'm wrong, but people could try talking me off a ledge, but I just think it's grim.
Well, Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane. So, knowing who these guys are, they don't spend high draft capital on offense. Josh Allen was basically their high draft capital that they spent. I think they spent the second round draft pick on Zay Jones, and that was really before Brandon joined the team. But other than that, Cody Ford, offensive lineman, we see how that went. But other than that, they've drafted defensive players heavy towards the top of the draft. And I think the thing is, and we don't have to stay on this because I feel like we talk about on every show, not just us. I feel like everybody, pretty much has these conversations about what they think is right and wrong with the Bills. But I just feel like I love Khalil Shakir. I love him I think he's going to be good. But the thing is, we can't keep drafting guys in the 5th, 6th round, hoping to get second and first round production from them. You get what I'm saying? Like, so for me, it gets to a point where it's like, no, I need you to draft a guy that's first or second round so you can get first or second round production. I don't. Everybody's not going to be a Stephon Diggs where you're drafted in the mid rounds and they turn out to be a wide receiver 1. That doesn't happen all of the time. So, I'm just, I don't know. But let's move on. Earlier we talked a little bit. We texted and kind of to prep for the show, and you wanted to kind of switch it up a bit. Kind of, we always talk football. I want to talk a little bit about some of the drama that's been going on this week with the women's basketball championship. First of all, congratulations to LSU. It was an impressive, first of all, completely impressive outing by the team.
Right.
Same thing with both teams, really.
Right.
Caitlin, first of all, can I say that Caitlin is a dog? Like, she is a hooper.
Dog. Bro, the type of shots, the difficulty off the dribble, fading, unbalanced, different release points. Dude, she is a bucket. She's a bucket. You can't guard her.
Man, She out here looking like Stephanie Curry. You know what I mean? Like she just
Yeah.
out here.
Yeah.
Crazy.
They picking her up full court, not half court. When she crosses half,
Mhm.
they're picking up full court, and she's still dropping buckets like that. Like it's just she's the best women's basketball player I think I've ever seen.
You know what? I can't argue that. I'm gonna still go with my girl Candace Parker, but I can't argue that. Candace Parker is different. She's different, bro.
Yeah,
she's different.
Candace can do it offensively and defensively.
Yeah.
Caitlin is probably the best offensive player I think I've ever seen in a women's
I'll give you that.
uniform.
I think she's probably the best shooter I've ever seen in women's on any woman. Daryl says she's old school Larry Bird-esque, and I would agree with that. She has that. She's a dope player. I'm really looking forward to her future. You know, I can't wait to see what she does with her future, whether that's WNBA, whether she does the international sport or whatever it is. But she's dope. But let's talk a little bit about, because you wanted to talk about some of the drama that was going on, man. Let's get right into it.
Yeah. So the fact that we're talking about women's basketball is a good thing, because just the fact that they're on the platform to be talked about the way it is, but it's like we can never have a good thing, So there's this, there's this idea that Caitlin Clark, she talks her ish, you know what I'm saying? Like she's with the, she's with it, right? But you have the LSU Tiger, their whole basketball team, they full of African American women, right? And they swaggy. It's Louisiana, like. When I don't know, people who haven't been to, they play Boosie in the locker room, and they with it, and so people talked about Dawn Staley and her South Carolina Gamecocks, and how media was saying that they were ghetto and stuff like that. Well, they've been saying the same thing about LSU this year, and so there's this thing where if Caitlin does it, she does the whole John Cena thing, and then Angel Reese does it. Well, they say Angel Reese is classic.
Wait, real quick.
Sorry.
Well, wait, real quick. I'm gonna let you finish your point, but can we stop calling this the John Cena thing?
Yeah.
Because you know where it came from, right?
Yeah.
It's my dog Tony Yayo. Shout out to 50 Cent. Shout out to G Unit. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But most people don't even know that Tony Yayo was the one.
They should, is what I'm saying. They should.
What's that video? What's that video where he's rapping? He's doing this.
Getting it. He was getting it. But go ahead, finish your point. I just had to throw that out there.
So in the championship game, so it was the semifinals with Caitlin Clark, where she did this whole thing, and she even waved off a chick that was at the 3-point line. Said, "I'm not even guarding you because you can't shoot." It's arrogant. It's arrogant, right?
I love it.
So Angel Reese and them girls like, okay, we see you. Like we coming and we gonna give it to you, Louisiana style, like all the Boosie before the game. Like, I don't want to talk to Jill Biden. They said, Jill Biden, you don't even need to come into the locker room. Did you hear about that?
I did.
Yeah. So like, don't even come in here. We about that action. So they get out there, and it's a good game. But LSU's banging them. Second half, toward the end of the game, Angel Reese does this, and then she does this, and now people are saying, well, that's classless, and it's like a double standard. So you got Caitlin Clark, who we just professed our love for Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, for sure.
But why is it a double standard when she does it, but when Angel Reese does it, she's ghetto and it's classless and it's this and it's that?
You know what? Before, because that's something that I feel like is spoken about or has been talked about all week now, and we're going to talk about it. But I feel like even a step back from that, if LeBron did it, if Steph Curry did it, we love that. You remember in the finals when the Cavaliers played against the Warriors and LeBron looked down on him, and he was like, man, you smart. Like, he just kind of had that arrogant look, like, you can't guard me, man. Like the year that him and Kyrie went off, like I think one game they both had like 52 or something crazy.
Yeah.
Like we love that energy in the NBA. We love that energy in college basketball. We love it in the NFL. Last year, I forget the guy, but one of the players from the Packers got up and did that little silly dance that all the kids are doing now in front of Justin Jefferson. You know what I mean? Like, he got up to do it in front of him. We loved it though. Like, oh, it's competition. They competitive. These guys are dogs. But then when ladies do it, when girls do it during the basketball, is something. And I don't understand it, man. I love competition at the highest level. And to me, I'm gonna tell you what, if I ever had a daughter and she was a top, whatever, I don't care what the sport, you play golf. and you the nicest golf player in women's professional sports, when you sink that, you get that eagle, I need you to go out there and just tell them. You know what I mean? Like, you can't see me on this.
Yeah.
You can't see me. And I don't understand what the issue of it is. And I think, so for me, yeah, I know I've been a supporter of women rights, women, I'm a supporter, and not even just to, how people simp, not for that. For me, I just feel like things should be equal. Keep the same energy across the board. If it's cool for me to get out here and talk crazy, I want her to be able to talk crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it's all competition, man. That's what sports is about. But to your point, I get so tired of having the conversation about, racial discrimination or on any level. And now that you're adding the sexist, or you're adding, just the fact that we're talking about, but you add that to it, it seems even worse. But it's like, yo, man, just let these girls go out there and enjoy themselves. Let them enjoy the game. Let them hoop. I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's like we can't have nice things, man. And it definitely is a level of sexism. We still struggle with women and earning. Like, I'm in the profession of IT. According to Gartner, there are, women are severely underpaid for doing the same job as men in IT. And that's not just in IT. I'm just speaking of what I know. We're seeing that, there's a sexist idea that women are supposed to not be braggadocious, and all this stuff. But these women are in the top. When you're in college basketball at Division I, you're in the top 5% of collegiate women athletes playing that game. And you're competing, and it's gonna be, you're in a stadium with 26,000 people, and it's charged. It's like people are excited for it. Why can't they express themselves? So who cares if Caitlin Clark does what she does, but who cares if Angel Reese does what she does? The fact that we're talking about women's sports right now, I think it's amazing. It's amazing. So next year, both of those players will be back. And I can't wait for them. I want them to go all out, be who you are, man. Because if you've never played a sport, or if you've never been passionate about anything, which I don't think there's many people out there who aren't passionate about anything. We're all passionate about something. When you're passionate about it, man, you're going to show your emotions, and there's nothing wrong with that. There was nothing disrespectful that Caitlin Clark did, and there was nothing disrespectful that Angel Reese did in the LSU Tigers. So just let them have fun, man. Let them be collegiate athletes. And I love the fact that Angel Reese is standing up for her team and her city, saying, you know what, Jill, don't try to backtrack now. Like, you didn't even have us in the bracket coming out of Baton Rouge. Don't try to do it now. And then it's like, oh,
you know what? But see, again, I love that because, for instance, now as Bills fans, right? Bills fans, we love the underdog angle. So like when people don't believe in us, when the national media didn't believe in us, they like, oh, see, okay. So we like that.
Right.
And so when you see the pregame speeches from Josh, or you see the pregame speeches from whatever, then it's like, yeah, we love that. Y'all don't believe in us, we gonna show you. But when LSU players come out and say, no, y'all didn't even have us making it to the Sweet 16, yet alone the champions.
Yeah.
No, we cool off that. It's a problem. I just don't get it, man. And like you said, I think it's a major W for women's athletics, not just basketball. I think it's a major W for women's athletics that we're having a conversation right now about women's sports. Yeah. I've been so when I lived in Indiana, man, I had season tickets to the Indiana Fever. Now that I live out here in Phoenix, I have season tickets to the Mercury. I love professional women's sports. And actually, I'm a little jealous right now because Vegas got the squad this year. I don't know if you keep up with the WNBA at all. Vegas got Candace Parker went over there. They basically got like 4 first overall draft picks on their team right now for this season coming up. So it's basically if KD, LeBron, like you just got, it's that type of team. So it's about to be something. It's about to be something. But no, it was. And I tell you what, one more thing about it. The women's bracket, the tournament overall this year was better than the men's.
Yep.
Every game that I watched this year from the women's bracket, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Dude, the fundamentals are better, but now they start, like you mentioned, they starting to get that swag. They starting to get that energy where they got that attitude in it, and they can. I love it, bro. I love it.
Yeah, man, it's fun.
So I hope y'all watch for our listeners and the people in the comments. I hope y'all really do watch it, man, because I'm telling y'all, if you don't, y'all missing out on some good. Y'all missing out on some good sports, man. Like when I say fundamentals, so I grew up, basketball is my first love. And like, you know, if you know me and you've ever been, I know you do, Strauss, but if you ever been around me and I start to get to talking about basketball and I'm talking about like when I was younger and the players I used to look up to and like when I used to play, like I glow with it, man. So it's a different thing. So when I'm watching these women play and their fundamentals are on point, man, like they're not as flashy. They don't come out there and do 360 dunks through the leg and all that stuff. But I'm telling you, pinpoint passes, good pick and roll games, the shooting, like these women know how to play the game, man. And it's dope to watch. It's dope to see them winning right now. And I'm proud that like I'm able to witness the women's game take a step forward. You know what I mean? Like it's a beautiful thing for me to watch. I love it.
Yeah, when you talk about fundamentals, I think women's basketball has always been more fundamentally sound than men's basketball. I think it's the men, they just rely on more athleticism and stuff like that. Doesn't mean that one side is better than the other, but they're all fundamentally sound. It's just good basketball, man. It's fun to watch. And if you, like you said, if you haven't watched it, you should probably go watch some Caitlin Clark highlights, go watch some Angel Reese highlights, go some South Carolina highlights. I mean, these girls are hooping. They hooping right now.
Too. They hooping. B in the comments said Penny. She already know. My dog Penny Hardaway, man. If it wasn't for them ACL injuries, I'm gonna just tell you right now. The way people talk about, there's several players that I think deserve the praise that they get, but I think Penny often is like forgotten in that conversation of great point guards and great basketball players. Penny was that dude, man. Like to me, Penny was supposed to be what Kobe was before Kobe was it. You know what I'm saying? When Shaq and Kobe, or when Shaq and Penny down in Orlando, let's not forget, they the ones that everybody talk about how Jordan never lost in the finals. Well, guess what? There was a year there where he lost before getting to the finals because it was Penny. Penny made it to the finals that year. We ain't got to get on the conversation. Yeah. We ain't got to get on it. But what else is happening around the league, man? It's a lot that's happening around the NFL. Was there anything in particular that you saw that you wanted to speak on, or?
Man, that the NFL finally let the number 0 people don the number 0. Like that, to me, the number 0 is it's so dope. Like just seeing the number 0 on a football player, offense. I like for a defensive tackle to wear number 0. I just think, them big old boys, the big old belly with that little 0 hanging there. I think it's just dope, man. So the NFL are letting players wear 0.
I guess I just don't get why it was a big deal in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? But you know what? People like to argue about everything. I feel like I hope I never really cross over into that space where I'm the old dude yelling at the crowd. Because like, remember when they said like, now players can wear single digit numbers, and you were like, well, not you, but you have people saying, I don't like defensive players wearing single digit numbers on. It's just weird who cares?
Yeah.
When I was a kid in Little League, man, whatever number you had, you was playing, you had it whether you was on defense or offense, or if you did both, it didn't matter. Yeah, I don't know, but I think 0 will be dope.
Hey, there's some rumors that the Arizona Cardinals, who pick number 3 or 4, are in talks with the Tennessee Titans to trade back to number 11 overall. So those from everything I'm reading, those rumors are heating up. If the Tennessee Titans move to number 3, they're looking quarterback. They have to be looking quarterback because, Malik Willis is obviously they let him get some run last year. But if you have a chance to get one of these top signal callers in the draft, you're going to do it. And then, with the Cardinals, I mean, you live down there. You probably know what they're talking about, but they need help they need help on both sides of the ball. Like, and Kyler, there's rumors that he might not even be able to play this year due to the ACL. So they look like they might be hitting the reset button in some ways. They're going to talk about releasing D-Hop. Like, why would you release D-Hop? That just doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense at all.
I'll tell you what, before they get to this football stuff, they need to figure out what's happening with the organization. Did you hear the report about
what happened? Because I only saw his name. I don't know what happened.
Well, so apparently I don't know the full story because I'm not right now. I'm upset with the Cardinals. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like last season, they disappointed me as a season ticket holder, and it's just one of those things where it's like, look, y'all. We'll talk about the football in a second. What I basically when he was suspended or the GM was suspended a few years back or whatever. There was some cheating that happened where they had a burner phone to communicate. You know, when the GM and or the owner is suspended, they can't communicate with the team about football operations at all. So there was something, and I guess this was around the time when Kyler Murray was drafted or being drafted, you know. So that, then you have some allegations of, like, you know, cheating and just all types of things, harassment. So it's just a lot of drama coming out of the Cardinals organization right now. And I guess they thought, because they announced yesterday as well, oh, we're going to get new uniforms. I guess they thought that was going to be the news to cover up whatever it was that was going on. But I'm telling you, it's such a toxic environment. And if you thought what was happening with the Washington Commanders a few years ago or recent, you know, you thought that stuff was drama, read up on this stuff with the Cardinals, man. It's super ugly. It's super ugly.
That's unfortunate.
Hey, well, I don't know. And the sad part about it is, out here in Arizona, man, the Bidwell family, you know how like Bills fans talk about, really, I mean, I know now the Pagulas are loved as well, but the Ralph Wilson and his family, the way they're just, I don't want to say worship, that might be a wrong word, but the way that they're loved almost universally. When you're in Buffalo or Detroit, the Wilson family is loved. Yeah. That's how the Bidwell family is here. Like, Bidwells are everywhere. Like, you see their name on billboards and buildings, and you go into the stadium and their names are, like, all of them are in the Hall of Fame. And it's just so just to, Papa Ron says revered. I feel like in Buffalo it's a little bit more than revered. And that's why I didn't use that word. I feel like in Buffalo, we're so passionate about people, and we're so passionate about the Bills. I think Bills fans are a little more fanatic than just reverence. Maybe that's just me. I could be wrong on that, but I feel like we take stuff a little bit further. Daryl wants to, he said in the comments, how promising were the Cardinals like 3 seasons ago? That's wild. And that's the part that bothers me, man. You get, you know, you come out here, and I'm sure all Bills fans remember the D-Hop Hail Murray catch, you know, and then they lose every game. They miss the playoffs. Yeah. So disappointing, man. And now this year coming up, you're not going to have Kyler Murray. He's out for most of the year, if not the whole year. They're trading DeAndre Hopkins. So it's like, really, you know, I'm going to the games to see what, James Conner. And I love James. Like, James Conner is a good running back. He held me down from fantasy for a good part of last year. I love James. But come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, man. It's that's why the NFL is the top dog in entertainment, because, I mean, just like you said, you know, the Cardinals they were on their way a few seasons ago. I mean, and now they even got JJ Watt, you know, Captain America, JJ Watt, right? He's retired.
Well, we knew he was on his way down when he signed, though. Like, you know, Matt says in the comments there that some people were annoyed when he shared the Cardinals news on Buffalo Rumblings today. And I don't get that. I feel like Buffalo Rumblings is an outlet for NFL news, not just, I mean, obviously we focus on the Buffalo Bills, but I think as a fan base, you want to know, you want to know what's happening around the league in ways that it can affect your team. And I think when you're looking at stuff like this, everybody in the Buffalo that I've talked to, they want DeAndre Hopkins. Guess what? This stuff affects that. Papa Ron says, now that you brought it up, Rumblings needs a fantasy league if it doesn't already exist. Guess what? It does. And I've been smacking boys for the last 4 years. You don't want it, Papa Ron. We're going to do another one, though. Actually, I have a league that I want to start. It's a dynasty league that involves the cap. I want to get people involved in it. So I'm going to put that out.
I'll be down for that.
All right. I'm gonna send you the info, but I'm gonna put that out. So Papa Ryan, you're gonna be one of the first that I text, and see if people want to get on it. I know Sarah wants to get down in it. We're gonna do. I want to try to challenge people in more ways than just saying, all right, let's jump on Yahoo and see who can draft the best. When you include that cap, it's a whole different conversation, because if you can get Josh and Patrick Mahomes if you draft 2 quarterbacks first, but guess what? If you do that, your cap is eaten up by 2 players, and you got to fill out the whole roster. So it just makes you have a little bit more of a GM's mind for it. First year I did, my team was called Brandon's Beans because I had big beans on it. Boy, I was out there. I was willing and dealing, my guy. Willing and dealing.
No, I'll be game for that, man. I'll be game for it. You know, fantasy to me, man, it's like I'd much rather gamble and bet on the day of than play fantasy, to be honest. You know,
I do both. Last year, DraftKings really got me into it. I wasn't big on the gambling, but when I started writing for DraftKings and doing the pregame rumbling show, it basically like it made me really look at those things a little bit differently.
yeah.
So then it's like, okay, if I'm gonna tell people to make this bet, if I'm gonna tell people to do this parlay, I'm gonna do the damn thing myself. So yeah, it definitely makes football a little bit more interesting for me on a weekly basis. I'll tell you that.
Well, now that you're writing for DraftKings, I'm gonna need that bag. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
So go on and toss it over, because I'll tell you what, dog. My stuff was so bad on Tally Site last year. I just stopped putting entries in, bro. I was like, hey man, my name is at stake here, bro, and I can't keep taking these L's every week, man.
Now, see, I was doing well with DraftKings with the like the games, like who's gonna win and who loses, and the money line. But when it comes to like the parlays, man, I was like, there was games like I remember one Bills game, man. I know it was against the Patriots, and I had this parlay up, and I hit every single one except Singletary didn't give me. I think I had him for 45 yards or maybe 50 yards, and he was short by like 7 yards. And it's just like, dog, like I think it was like 45 yards. So that's why I'm probably chill on the parlays this year. But the betting does make it fun.
Hey, you want to know something crazy though? So I don't know if y'all are, you're a gamer. So yeah. I just went and bought a PS3. And you want to know why I just bought a PS3?
A PS3?
A PS3. I have a PS5, as you can see it right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. There. Why do you have? A peep. That's why I'm like a PS3.
I just bought a PS3, and it's in this box right over here. It just came in today so I could play NCAA football 2014 and NCAA basketball 2010.
Did I hear it right too that they're about to bring NCAA football back?
Yes, it was supposed to come back this summer, but it got pushed back a year, so it looks like it's going to come out the following year. So I'm like, okay, I can't go any longer without college football. So I'm just going to get the OG system, the OG PS3, and going to order this game. So, I'm gonna be getting it in here in a minute.
Well, this season coming up, we have a Buffalo Rumblings. We do have a channel for Twitch that we do want to start doing some. It doesn't have to be Madden, so I do want to start doing some more interactive content with fans where we, I don't care. I don't play much. I play Madden. I play 2K. I'm gonna try to get into the hockey because I want to learn. I want to learn to enjoy the Sabres like everybody else. So I got to get into the hockey. I don't do the hockey. You know what I mean? I don't know about the hockey, but I'm gonna get into it. So maybe that could be a game that we learn together. We could jump online and figure that out. But
I don't understand hockey at all. And I feel bad because I hear like on the radio, like everybody's talking about this Devin Levi kid, the goalie, and he dons the number 27 like Trey White. And I'm just like, what am I supposed to be excited about? Like, if you tell me what I'm supposed to be excited about, I'll get excited with you. But I know nothing about hockey, bro. I'm just be honest.
I don't know a thing about it. And it's like they called offsides. I'm like, that ain't offsides. You know what I mean? Like
where the flag?
He ain't jump before. Where the flag at? But no, I really tried one time too. Like for a full season, I went to a couple of the games and I was kicking it with some people. And people just don't have the patience with me to really. So I'm like, I'm gonna get the game. Because that's how, when I was a kid, that's how I learned other sports. So that's how I learned golf with the Tiger Woods joint back in the day. That's how I learned the rules and all of that. So I'm going to have to, Papa Ron says Sabres haven't had a goalie since the Dominator. Maybe, I guess.
Who's the Dominator?
Dominic Hasek. I knew that. I know that.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I know that.
The market dominator? The
hey, shout out to John Spazcheck. Shout out to my dog, John Spazcheck, the market dominator. Call him if you need to dominate the market. He'll get you the deal that you need. I don't know his phone number, so I can't give it to you. I'm sure. But look, we're going to get on out of here, man. You got anything else you want to plug real quick?
I have my mock draft 2.0 will drop midweek next week. So it'll have some trades in there, the whole shebang.
All right, cool. And then everybody, make sure y'all check out the rest of the content for this week. We got some good stuff, man. The Mafia cast is coming up. We got Line the Game with Sarah and Jerry, and the Bruce exclusive drops tomorrow, and not tomorrow. Yeah, Bruce exclusive drops tomorrow. So, you know, we got some good stuff still happening. Good articles next week on the Code of Conduct. I'm gonna have Danielle joining me. She's the one. So when you see on Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff, all the posts that go out, she's the one that kind of runs that. So we're gonna have a good conversation with her. She used to also host the Mafia Mavens pod. So she has some history with podcasts. So we're gonna get on that. And hey, Antoine should be back next week too, I think.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get on him. Wait till he get up in here. We're gonna get him. It's been too long. We can't let him go without being checked. We're gonna have to check him.
I just have fun getting him because he'd be like, man, what? And I know sometimes I'll be saying outlandish stuff that I know ain't true. I just like to see him react because it takes a lot to get him to react. So when I get him, it's like I got you.
I'll be over here laughing, dog. We're gonna get him next week. We're gonna get him.
So, all right. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know how I do it over here for your boy Sterls the Girls. It's your boy Jay Spence the King, and y'all love each other, take care of each other, and live in peace. And as always, stay positive, test negative, go Bills.
Go Bills.